So, I have a student who I would see when I'm walking to the park because, like, I wait for my bus, and then I have a student who, like, comes to the park and rides his bike. And so after class, I would, like, talk to him. And then one day I saw his cousin, because his cousin is also in class too. And they're like walkers, so they walk home or walk to school together. And so I saw his cousin, and his cousin broke like a chain on his bike. And I was like, you know what? I really want to go and give him candy, basically, because I had like this teacher's box of candy. And it was chocolate, and it was so hot that it melted. And I was in my mom's car, and my mom was like, yeah, you can't give that to the kids because it'll melt. And so his cousin, who's also in class, a class that I was a teacher assistant in for first grade and kindergarten, his cousin Gordon was like, hey, can you give me a ride just down the street to my sister's cousin house? And my mom's like, no, I don't know your parents and this isn't safe. And he's like, okay, well, if you want to see jelly peanut, I don't want to say the kid's name, Jolly Peanut student, then you can go to his house, and his house is just right here. And so he walks me to the boy's house, and I try to like see if he's at home so that I can give him out candy as well. I wanted to see if his people can approve of my mom driving his cousin Gordon to his sister's house, because we have to tell an adult if we want to do something like that. And so we go, and this guy answers the door, and he looks nothing like Peanut Jelly Boy. And this guy is like, I don't know who Peanut Jelly Boy is. And the cousin Gordon is like, but that's his bike right there. Like, he has to be in the house. His bike is still here. And all the guy's like says is, I don't know who that is. I don't really know who you are. I don't know why you're asking questions about where the boy is. And then he closes the door, and he didn't have a good personality. And the house didn't really look that pretty and friendly and welcoming either. And it looked like a man was just creepy, sitting in the dark and being mean. And I'm like, Gordon, are you sure that's his house? And Gordon's like, yeah, that's his house. And yeah, after that we just part ways, and we're like, yeah. And then Gordon's like, oh, well, I don't know you people anyway, and I don't want to get into your car, and I'll just walk my bike up the street to my sister's house. And he also said he doesn't know where his mom is. He just comes out of school and no one's home. And that's how it is with a lot of kids. They'll get off the bus, no one's home. They'll walk home, no one's at the house. The only one who probably has people at their house is car riders, unless the parent just picks them up, drops them at the house, and then leaves. But another kid talked to me, and it was a boy who has a disability, and I could obviously tell that. But it is surprising that it got diagnosed, because when people have bad behavior, because he's smart, it's just like I can tell he has a mental disorder, because in class he'll just shout out random words, and he'll freeze like he can't do the work, even though he knows the answer, but then he still just can't know what to do. He freezes up, and he spaces out. He was tapping his hand, tap, tap, then tapping the book, tap, tap, then tapping another page in the book, tap, tap, and he was doing that like the whole class. And I'm surprised that he was even doing that for so long, because I'm just like, how long is this boy gonna do this? Like, does he not know you're not supposed to be tapping on like your book and your desk and your hand with your pencil? Because he was like tapping on his book in hand, and then he started tapping like on his desk or like below his desk, like, the metal part of it, the black metal part, and then like you have the brown metal part of a desk. Point is, it was like noise, and then even a student went to him and was like, "Can you stop doing that?" And I'm just like, you are in school for 2 weeks. You already know you can't just do this. And then when he's in class, the teacher will be like, "Hey, repeat after me. The word is idiom. Repeat after me. The word is simile. Repeat after me. The word is onomatopoeia." And then you'd be like, "Onomatopoeia. Like, he'll make this creepy, screamo, monster, alien voice. And the teacher would tell him, like, twice, "Don't do that, don't do that." And it's like he has to be told a lot of times how to act in a school. And then when he was at lunch, he was the boy who yesterday on Thursday was, like, breaking his lunch tray. And then when he cleans up his lunch, he's still, like, playing with his food on the table. Like, he throws away his tray, and then he's playing with green beans that he left on the table. And it looked kind of, like, weird. But I feel like, yeah, kids can be kids. But he also doesn't pay attention in class and drums a lot. And he has, like, we can call it a problem with attention, but I also just think maybe he just doesn't like school and he doesn't like learning. And that's how some kids are. And I don't know how to get him that joy of, like, reading a book. That joy of, hey, you can figure out this math problem. Isn't it fun? Like, I don't know how to get them into that. Because there's a lot of adults who aren't even into that. And the kid probably, should get kicked out of class just because of how distracting he can be sometimes. But that's not going to happen. But I know a lot of schools, they don't take students acting like that. And that's why they have students making A's and B's, because they make sure to have the students who have good behavior to be in the class. Like the kids who want to learn, focus. And I see kids who, they don't want to learn and they don't want to focus. But when I talked to him, I did ask him about making a sentence with a vocabulary word, because that was the assignment. And one of the words was pesky. And so I was like, you want to try making a sentence with pesky? Because he's the type of kid, he'll make sentences like he did the word run a mile. A mile. And then he said, "I ran a mile and died." And I'm like, okay, maybe you can come up with a funny, weird sentence about the word pesky. And I'm like, pesky means annoying, so what can you think of? And he's like, "Yeah, my brother." And he seems sad, like genuinely sad, thinking about his brother. And he's like, "Yeah, my brother is annoying and he likes to fight me a lot." And then I said, "Well, does your brother chase you?" Because I'm like, what type of fighting is this? And he's like, "No." He says that his brother doesn't like it when he's on the computer and the brother will, like, knock him off the computer and get mad at him. I guess it could be like they have one computer at home. And I told him that I experienced something similar. And I said, well, I have a brother, and when we were younger, well, I didn't say it so properly, but I was like, yeah, I have a brother, and when it was like nighttime at 10 p.m., I would like to watch TV, and then he'd kick me out of the room because he wanted to go to sleep, and I'm not allowed to be in the room interrupting his sleep by having the TV on. And I told him I like staying up to like 12 a.m. and I like watching TV. And then he kicked me out the room and I can't even watch TV anymore, and it made me really mad. And he's like, oh, that was your brother or something. But yeah. After that, I was like, we got to get back to our worksheet. So, yeah. But let's try another word, because I told him illustrate. And he said illustrate, he liked YouTube, and he wants to make like videos together on YouTube and like be a video editor, basically. He wants to put together clips for YouTube videos. And I totally think he can do that and make money.